Hi, this is Lee Thurburn again. In this video, we're going to show you how to upload records into your database. All right, so the first thing to keep in mind is at the moment we only have one record. If I click on search, you're going to see the one record. It is for the account owner, Mr. Billy Crystal. All right, so now I'm going to click on CRM. The second link says import record from Spreadsheet. And this is a two-step process. Step one is to go get your file. So I'm going to click Browse, and then I'm going to go find my file. Now, I happen to have already opened a file in Microsoft Excel, and I want to show you some things to keep in mind. Okay, so this is a relatively typical spreadsheet. And let's focus our attention on these first 5 columns before we look at the rest. This is the kind of information that you can download from LinkedIn, and it's very common information. First name, last name, company name, title, and email. Now, we already have database files, we already have standard database files for this information. So this is going to be an easy match. Now, we just went through on a previous video how to set up Class A, Class B, and Class C classifications and called them category, type, and source. So here we have information for category, type, and source in these 3 columns. And then we have some custom information in the form of a hair color that we might be trying to track on these individuals. I want you further to note that we have a total of 10 records. So starting with number 2 through 11 is 10 records. And 2 of these records have the same email, netofferlee@gmail.com. So one of the things you need to know is that when you upload records, the information in the records will be checked against existing records, and we use the email as the key field to determine whether or not there's a duplicate. So when the upload process occurs, the duplicate email for these 2 records will kick out the second one. So the first one that'll be uploaded will be President, CEO, Net Offer Marketing, and Net Offer Lee, former client, nonprofit, and so on. The second email with the same email address will have different information. So I want you to watch how this works. Okay, so this email is called Lee's Database Clients, only 10 records, 1 dupe. So I'm just going to close that or reduce that. And now we're going to go find that file, and here it is in the upload files area. Here's that file that I just showed you. So we're going to open it, and now we've preloaded it into this section. So what we've done is we were back on here, step 1, select the file. We've selected the file. Now we're going to upload the file. Now in step 2, the system looks at the column headings in the spreadsheet and compares them with database field names that we have set up in our system. So it found last name and it matched it to last name. Now if I click here to open this, this is a list of all the record number, or of all the standard file names or field names that we have. So it found last name and matched it to last name, first name to first name, company to company name, title, it matched to company contact title, email to email. Now it doesn't recognize category, type, or source. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here. I'm going to pick category, then I'm going to pick type, and I'm going to pick source. Now we're not going to add hair color at the moment because I want to demonstrate something in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and click import records, and it'll take just a moment, and now it tells us that we've imported 9 records into the database. Well, obviously one of those was a duplicate, so out of 10, only 9 would be imported. Now I'm going to go up here and click on the search, and this will show the records. And in sequence, the last one here, or the first one, the most recently added one, which is shown at the top, corresponds with the last one in the sequence. So it loads from the top down. So the last one in sequence would be the most recent one loaded, and it's at the top. So if we go down to the record for Lee Thurburn at National, let's see here, let's go check where the duplicate was. Okay, so the duplicate, the first one we loaded with Lee Thurburn was NetOffer Marketing Management Software. The second one is NetOffer National Speaker Registry. Now let's go look at what we have here. National Speaker Registry. If we go into this one, we're going to see the information. So I'm going to look at the information here. Client, Class A is client, Class B is personal, Class C is direct mail. So if we go look at the data sequence, client, personal, direct mail. The first record in sequence was former client nonprofit networking. So what happened is it loaded the first one, and then when it recognized the email as being a duplicate, it added the unique information from the next record and overwrote the previous record. What this means is that when you upload data, if you have a duplicate email, the latest information that you upload will replace any information that was previously recorded. So this can both be a useful tool and a nuisance, depending upon whether you expect it or not. So it's the way it works, and keep that in mind when you download and then upload. In fact, I'm going to show you later how you can download, make edits, and then upload. In fact, I'll show that to you in this video. So we're working with 10 records total, 9 that are not duplicates. All right, so now let's go back over to the CRM system, and I want to show you something else. Remember when we created this, we created customer, not customer. We didn't create client or prospect, client, and former client. But prospect, client, and former client were added to the list of classes, just like we added business, personal, and nonprofit. And over here we added direct mail and networking. See, when you upload a spreadsheet, whatever you have in the category, the type, and the source are automatically added as new selection options in the Class A, Class B, and Class C selection option group. So because this did not match exactly what we already had, the system just simply added client, former client, and prospect as options under Class A, and the same thing for the options under Class B and Class C. Now, we don't have hair color because we didn't have a hair color field. So there's a couple of different ways that we can do this. One, we can go in and add a hair color field and re-import the information. So what I'm going to do is that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back over to the CRM system. I'm going to go to Import Record from Spreadsheet, and we're going to select the file again, the same file, and we'll preload it. So now it's in the load section. So everything's the same. We still have to go back and match category, type, and source. So we're going to match category, type, and source. And this time we're going to create a custom field for hair color. So I'm going to add a custom field. I'm going to select a field type as a text field. I'm going to call it hair color. And that's all you have to do. You can create a custom field on the fly while you're importing data. Now, you could have pre-planned this and created the custom fields before you uploaded the data, but we made it possible and easy for you to just simply go, oh, I forgot that, and add it right now. So I'm adding the custom field. So now we have added a new custom field. It'll be at the bottom of the list, hair color, and that custom field is now available. So we're going to import the records. It'll take just a second, and then it'll tell us 0 records have been added. However, we now have a custom data field. So let's go look at our records, and let's look at Bart Simpson. And now in the Bart Simpson record, when it loads, over here under Class C column, there previously had not been any custom fields, but now there is a custom field for hair color. So you can add custom fields on the fly when you load information. Now, none of the information was changed for any of the records. We just added additional data. So this makes it real easy for you to use the spreadsheet and the import process to update and manage data, because often when you have changes that you need to make to your database, it's easier to make those changes in a spreadsheet mode and then re-upload them. So now you know how to upload and make changes and update your data in the database without really changing anything. But just keep in mind, when you do upload, it does overwrite any existing information that existed there. So let's do one more example of that in terms of the overriding information that existed. So I'm going back to the list of records, and now we're going to go down here to this National Speaker Registry, and we're going to look at the company profile and notice that contact title is blank. Let's look back at those duplicate records. So here's the first record that was loaded with net offer Lee, and it showed President CEO. But when it loaded the second one, the title field was blank. And because blank is a value, it changed President CEO to a blank. So again, just be aware that when you upload information a second time, it is a powerful tool for editing and managing your data, but it will overwrite existing fields with new fields. All right, now one last thing. The RW Company, Inc. Let's go look at this record for Robert Worry, partner in the RW Company. We're going to come back over here. We're going to click on the search. We're going to come down here and look at Robert Worry. What I normally recommend, and this worked fine uploading this information, notice there's a comma in here. So it brought the comma in. I will just tell you that while this works fine, and actually let's look at the kind of file that we imported. This was a file type of, I think this is a CSV file. So let's go to File, Save, and let's see what the options are that we get by default with this. Well, that just said File, Save As. Let's do File, Save As. And yes, this is a comma separated value file. So the comma separated value file in this case had a comma in, I need to go load that again, had a comma in one of the fields for the name of the company, Inc. And so let's just open that so you can take a look at it. I have found from lots of years of experience that it is usually wise and easier to remove all the commas before you import data, especially from a comma separated value spreadsheet. So what I usually do, and what I recommend that you do, is highlight the spreadsheet, come over to Find and Select, click Replace, and then put comma, and then nothing. Don't put anything in there. Click Replace All. Watch what happens here in this field. Replace all, boom, the comma just disappears. It said there was one replacement. So I do highly recommend, again, this is based upon years of experience dealing with spreadsheets, that you remove the commas when you import your data, and just that'll make your life, generally speaking, a lot easier. But of course, do as you wish. All right, that's it on how to upload spreadsheets, how to upload records from Spreadsheet. I hope you enjoyed it, and look forward to seeing you in the next video.